Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be a recent purchases update video. I've not done one of these before, but I do get a lot of questions about the items I have, especially the ones that I bought recently, and so I thought this might be a good way to kind of combine them all, especially because I don't always want to do individual videos on the items. So for example, my Louis Vuitton Neverfull, I've already done a comparison with my GM, so I don't really want to do a whole separate video on it, but at the same time I do get a ton of questions on that bag, so I'm going to be talking about that today, as well as a few other items. So I'm going to be discussing my Fendi Peekaboo, my two Chanel SLGs that I bought I think in February, everything from my Louis Vuitton haul as well. So that's including the Neverfull in the Damier Azur, the Cluny BB, and the 3 Louis Vuitton SLGs I got as well. So I hope you guys enjoy. If this format does work, then I might do it on a semi-regular basis, maybe every 6 months or so, or just whenever I feel like I have enough to share. So I hope you guys enjoy, and I'm going to get started. I also quickly wanted to mention that if I'm seeming a bit bleary-eyed or a bit different, it's just because it's really early in the morning and I'm quite sleepy. It's like 6:30 in the morning. I'm having to film this before work because I need a video for today because it's Tuesday, so that's what I'm doing. My schedule has been completely crazy in the last couple of weeks, which is why my posting has been a little bit erratic. I do apologise for that, but hopefully we're going into calmer times ahead, so hopefully everything should get back to normal. So first up, I'm going to be discussing my Fendi Peekaboo, which I don't feel like has gotten a lot of love on my channel, but I have really been enjoying it. So I got mine in the medium size in the magenta colour, which is the deep pink, and it's just such a beautiful bag. I've really been impressed with the quality. It's really beautifully made, and I definitely wouldn't be averse to getting something else on Fendi because it really is gorgeous in the way it's made and the craftsmanship. I think the leather is beautiful and just the little details everywhere. I've just been very, very impressed. It's not a particularly heavy bag, I would say, so I haven't really been having any issues with the weight. I don't overfill it, but at the same time I do like to carry a few things with me, so I was a bit concerned about the weight, but I don't really find it heavy at all. And you do have the shoulder strap as well, which has been a lifesaver on more than one occasion, so it's really quite practical. I was a little bit nervous about it because, one, I didn't know if such a bright colour would suit my wardrobe, but I have been finding it fairly easy to pair, and secondly, I was a little bit concerned whether I would get a lot of use out of this because it is a top handle, which has been a style that I stayed away from previously, but I've really been liking it. It's very, very ladylike. It's quite comfortable to wear as well, you know, it's not an awkward strap to carry, and yeah, I've just been really liking it. I can't update you too much on the wear and tear just because, well, A, I can't really see any, but also I don't know if I've used it enough to really have wear and tear, so I can't really see any marks on it at all. I will say that I love the little anorak that comes with it that you can just pop over. I think this is such a cute touch, and it cost them like nothing to make, but it just makes me really happy. I think that's really, really cute, so that's a really, really fun thing that Fendi did. I can't say too many more things about it, which is why I didn't want to do a whole review, but I've really been liking it so far, and I'm definitely glad I went for the medium size. I think this was kind of perfect, so very, very happy with my purchase so far. Up next are my two Chanel SLGs, and this one is in caviar. This is the card holder, looks like so, with the card slot on the back, and then this one is a lambskin one, and it just opens up like so. There's no pocket on the back or anything. And I did cover these in my SLG collection video, so I don't want to go into too much depth here, but I did just want to do a kind of quick updated wear and tear. So I will say that I've been enjoying both, and I have been using both. My favourite is the lambskin one, which I think was the case in my SLG collection as well. I just really have been liking it. The wear and tear has been pretty great. I don't think it has any scratches on it at all really, and I have had bad experiences with lambskin SLGs from Chanel in the past, so I was definitely a little bit dubious this time, but I've just been so pleased that it's really, really lovely. You know, it's such a bright, fun pop of colour. I think lambskin just takes colour so beautifully, and I can't really say any complaints about it. Not a single scratch on it. Keep in mind, I haven't really bashed this about, so you know, I've always kept it in my pocket as opposed to just floating around in my bag, so I have protected it that way, but at the same time I haven't over babied it. You know, I haven't been worrying about it, because generally speaking, when I worry about an item, I don't really enjoy it, which means I don't really reach for it, whereas this hasn't been the case for this. I've just been really, really liking it, so thumbs up for this one. This one I've been slightly less impressed with, just because there are some scratches on the CC, which, I mean, I don't know if you can really see it. I'll try and do a close-up, but this is the brushed gold hardware. This is in the silver, and this scratched up pretty quickly really, which I was surprised about. I've not really had any issues with Chanel hardware scratching before, so I have been a bit disappointed. You can see it less when it's reflecting in the light, but in normal daylight I can see it quite a bit, and I'm not gonna lie, that does bother me a little bit. So I'm not thrilled about that, and I feel like Chanel should maybe treat their hardware or something so it doesn't get so scratched up. But apart from that, you know, the wear has been pretty great. There's nothing on the interior really to speak of, and the outside's fine. It's caviar, so it's always going to be quite durable, but I was a little bit disappointed that this scratched up. Probably my fault, I probably should have taken more care of it, but I didn't even think that was a possibility, to be honest. It didn't even occur to me that this would scratch, so a bit sad about that, but not the end of the world, and I do still like it. But yeah, something to keep in mind if you do have this piece. So I'm going to be doing my Louis Vuitton SLGs next, and first up is my key holder. I feel like I have mentioned this quite a bit because I've just been loving it. I've used it every single day since I got it, and it's just become such a firm favourite of mine, and I didn't even know I needed a key holder in my life when I first got this, but I've been hooked, so I would recommend this to absolutely anyone. It just has all my keys, and I do have quite a few in here, and this is in the rose ballerine lining. I can't say I've seen any wear on it at all, so I've really been impressed. The button is absolutely fine. I do get some questions about that, but I can't say enough good things. It's just such a lovely, fun, luxurious piece, and I love the fact that you can also fit cards in here as well. So when I go to the gym, I will quite frequently just put a credit card in there and I'm good to go, and I don't need to carry anything else. So that's absolutely great. It makes finding my keys a lot easier as well, because they used to get lost all the time in my bag. So I love this. I think for the money, I think it's great value, and I can't say enough good things. I am totally hooked, would recommend this to absolutely anyone. Now on to the two SLGs which I'm less enthusiastic about. So the first one is my Emily wallet, and I have previously glowed about this because I did really like it when I first got it, and I still stand by what I said in that I think it's perfect in terms of its structure. So I love the fact that it has the card slots here and the zipper bit here, and I do have some stuff in here, but the two pockets, I think the layout is perfect for me, and it's just what I want in a wallet. I think it's the perfect size. What I'm less impressed by is the wear and tear, and this is the first time that I've really had any quality issues with Louis Vuitton, and I always get these kind of questions, but I've never had anything to complain about until this wallet. And so I don't know if this is called the glazing. I do hear people talk about the glazing, so I'm wondering if this is what it's called, but it's basically peeling off. And again, I will try and insert close-ups, but it's doing that on both sides. One, it's peeled off completely, and the other one, it's peeling off pretty badly as well. So I can't say I'm super pleased about this because I've had it since April, and in comparison I do have my other wallet here somewhere. I have no idea where it is, but my Insight wallet I used I think for 2 years straight, and it still looks pretty much good as new. It looks really, really great. This I haven't even used daily since April. I've used it maybe for 2 or 3 months, and this has already happened. So I can't say I'm really happy about it. I pick Louis Vuitton SLGs because I feel like they're very durable and I don't have to baby them and I don't have to worry about them. So this is really disappointing. There's also quite a bit of wear on the button, and there is a bit of a scuff mark, and also I don't know if this is colour transfer. It's just this weird kind of mark, and so I did kind of put that down to me maybe misusing it. I haven't had that issue with my key holder, but I accept that this is probably something I've done to it. But when I saw the sides, I was like, there is nothing I could have done to have caused that myself. That's just crazy. So I will be returning this to Louis Vuitton to see what they have to say, to see if maybe they can fix it. But yeah, I've been very disappointed. Also, just on the back, I have a bit of a dent here. I don't know why, and this isn't, you know, it is quite a flat wallet anyway, and you do need to bulk it out in order for it to look full, but it all just amounts to a kind of disappointing experience for the Emily wallet. So I can't say I really recommend this at the moment. First time I've had quality issues, but yeah, not very impressed with this one. And then moving on to my Cosmetic Pouch, I have mixed feelings about this. I do really like it, and I do really like the print. I think it's very fun and different, and I am glad I got it in the print. But I'm not overwhelmed with the actual piece. It does have a little bit of vachetta there, which I have gotten a bit of a mark on, which is totally my fault. but for me, my issue with this is it distorts very easily, which I'm not really a fan of. For me, I don't mind when things are really floppy and that's how they're meant to be, like Neverfull. I love that about it, but when things are supposed to be a bit more structured, like I feel this should be, I don't like the fact that it distorts when it's even a little bit full, and it does get full quite quickly. It fills up very easily, and I always see, even just now when it's not full at all, the canvas will kind of crinkle a bit, which again, I don't know if that will be the case for everyone, but it does bother me a little bit. And this is when it's kind of, I'll show you how much stuff I have in it. You know, it's pretty empty. It's not got a whole lot of stuff in. So when it's got a bit more in, then you can really see it bulge out, and that just kind of freaks me out. So I wish it was a little bit more carefree in that sense. I do like it. If I lost it tomorrow, would I repurchase? Probably not. I'm glad I have it, but this isn't a must-have for me. Next up, I'm going to be talking about my Louis Vuitton Cluny BB, which is looking very, very bright on camera, but it is this lovely baby pink. As I said, mine is in the BB size, which is the smaller size. It does come with a shoulder strap. I'm not sure actually where the shoulder strap is. Again, I have kind of mixed views on this now that I've had it a bit longer. I do still really like it. I think the shape is very, very elegant, and I think it's just a very, very cute, fun bag. I know a lot of people that own this bag absolutely adore it, and I can see why. However, I will say I don't think it's a particularly practical bag, so it's kind of in that weird in-between area of not being quite big enough for a day bag, but also being a little bit too big for an evening bag for me. And I think that's just kind of my personal preference, but it does kind of fit in that weird middle zone. And I also don't think it's that practical. So I think I mentioned in my first impressions, it does topple over quite easily, which is still the case, and it does bug me a little bit that it does that. I'm also just not a fan of the inside structure. You really can't fit a lot in here, and I don't know, looking at it, I thought you would be able to fit more in, and I don't actually think I can fit that much more in here, if any more than in my Chanel Boy bag, for example, which this looks quite a bit bigger than my Chanel Boy, so that is quite surprising. And just little things that I wish the zipper was a bit more straight. It is quite wonky, and even when you zip it up, you know, you can still see it kind of, I don't know, it's not fully straight, and just those are really, really little things obviously, but they do bug me a little bit. That said, I do still like it, and it is a really fun bag, and whenever I see it on other people, I think it looks really good as well. So I can't really say I regret it, but those little things do niggle at me a bit. I will also say that I don't think it's worth the price. I think this would be much better priced at maybe the 900 mark. I bought this for 1400, and I think now it's 1500, which for me personally, I just think that's too much money. So I don't know how common these are on the pre-love market, but if you are looking to get one, then I would maybe say looking on the pre-love market, because not totally sure it's worth £1,500, but I do like it, and it does seem, you know, fairly well made. I haven't had any issues with wear and tear, even with the pale pink colour, which I've been very pleased about, but yeah, it's definitely not without its flaws, but still a very, very cute and lovely bag. And then last but not least is my Louis Vuitton Neverfull in the MM size, and this is in the damier with the rose ballerine lining. And this has been my absolute baby for the past few months. I have been loving it. It's what I've been reaching for so often, and it's just such a gorgeous bag. It did take me a little while to warm up to this one. When I first got it, I wasn't quite used to the size, and I just preferred my GM still. You know, I was like, you know, it's nice, it's not quite my GM, that was my one true love, but I've definitely come over to the dark side, or the light side I should say, and I've really been liking it. I think the size has definitely grown on me. I really enjoy this, particularly in summer, you know, with summer dresses when you don't want something that's so big and overwhelming. So I think this is a great option for that. I will say, and I think I have mentioned this before, that the lining does get horrendously dirty, so I don't know if you'll be able to see that. It might be a bit difficult, but there are tiny little marks pretty much everywhere, and I do periodically go in and have a little clean. So if that's something that would bother you, then I would think carefully about getting this bag, because I was really surprised. I'm not really one to be that fussy about lining, just because I'm like, oh, it's in the interior, it's not going to bother me, but you can really see this. And let me see if I can kind of lift up. Again, I don't know if it's going to show up on camera, but you just see little marks absolutely everywhere, and I don't even know what they're from because I don't put particularly dirty things in my bag, I don't think, but they just seem to appear, so definitely one to keep in mind. I'd say that's pretty much the only downside of this bag though. I've been really loving it. Apart from that, I also love the pouch as well. I've been using this separately and just kind of run out for errands and stuff, and I've really been liking it. You have a little rose ballerine trim as well. I just in love with this combination. I think they did so well with it. I have been getting questions about the damier ebene as well, and if I'll be going for that. I don't think I will, not for the time being. I wasn't overwhelmed with the combination. I think it's nice, but I don't know, I'm just not sure about the pink and the dark brown. I'm not quite sure what I was expecting, but I don't know if I prefer that much more than the red, and I don't know whether I'll get that in the future, but I think if I was to get another Neverfull, it will kind of detract from the two that I have, and so I've just been really enjoying these two at the moment, and yeah, so if you are considering getting this bag, I would say that I definitely recommend it, and I've really been liking it. It's definitely been a favourite for me this summer, but just keep in mind that the lining is very high maintenance. But apart from that, yeah, really like it. So that's it for this video, guys. I hope that you enjoyed it. If you have any questions about any of these items, then leave them for me in the comment section below. And if you enjoyed this format and would like to see more going forward, then please do give this video a thumbs up. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye, guys.